Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome to Money Control. I'm Karunya. With me is Manisha, Gupta, and today we're here to give you an update on metal prices. So what's happening and why is there a slump?
Well, yesterday was a great day. We saw metal prices gain up anywhere between 1.5 to 2%. But today, after the Chinese inflation data has come in, whether it has been about the consumer price index or producer price index, has been on the weaker side. That tells you that the demand in the market is not so strong, and is the reason you saw the metal prices declining. The regional equity markets also have taken a bit of a hit. The Indian markets, the equity markets gained at multi-week highs, but we haven't been able to, run up from there. There has not been extended gains, and the markets will wait out for the US inflation data today. That is where we will get cues from, and ahead of that, there is a bit of a choppiness that we've seen return back to the market.
Could that extend the weakness, the choppiness? Because whatever data we've got so far coming in from the US and from key global markets hasn't been encouraging with respect to inflation. So should we be prepared for another few days of choppiness or jitteriness?
We've reached a level, Karunya, where I wouldn't be too pessimistic or bearish on the metal prices anymore. Yes, we're off lows. We still are 20 to 40% off highs, especially for something like aluminum. We're still 40% down from the highs, but we are better off from the 15-month lows that we were trading a couple of weeks ago. So there is some bank that is returning. And look at the US jobs data that came in the last week, that was positive. Look at the Chinese copper imports for the month of July, 9.5% higher year on year. The Chinese copper imports were hitting 4-year lows in the month of May and June. So some of these key numbers are starting to look slightly better now, and that would really tell you that there is buying. Also, China is headed for their weekly holidays in the month of August, and there is some buying that we are seeing into this space. Also, when you look at the supply and demand scenario, the supply side clearly seems to be quite supportive. The Shanghai copper inventories have declined by 74% since the month of March. Aluminum Shanghai inventories are lower. If you look at the LME aluminum inventories, they are the lowest in 32 years. So the markets will start to, look at all of these bullish numbers into the market, and you will see some buying, especially the speculative stack. Also, when you see that, the shorts are clearly unwinding their positions, and we are looking at buying opportunities around here.
But if there is buying and if there is a rise or a sustained rise in metal prices, could be more bad news for markets then, because typically it's inversely related, right? And ever since the commodity prices have started cooling off, we have seen a good run up last 1 month in the market, and now many of them are recovering. I want to also talk about steel prices, 1 month high. What's aiding the uptick then?
Well, one is that you have seen slightly better data coming from China, and China will have to come out with stimulus sooner or later. So that is what the markets are working with in any case. And the other thing clearly is about on how you are looking at some buying coming back. Production seems to be returning. You have seen the profit number margins for steel companies also improve, with especially with the iron ore prices on the weaker side. So well, yes, with steel at 1 month highs, aluminum, copper, zinc also trading near 1 month highs, there is some support coming in. And I do remember our conversations have been quite bearish when it comes to metal prices in many of these months now. But I think now is consolidation, one, and there could be a turning point coming in depending on what kind of data do we see. Do we continue to see more supportive numbers? Then yes, and yes, the US inflation data today is going to be the
But
most.
any negative shock or surprise could
I think we factored all of that in now. I mean, what bad could you see from here on? The war is still going on. We do understand we've seen 275 basis points of rate hikes already. Another one couldn't really kill the market so much. So yes, I think we are consolidating around these levels. Lows for this year perhaps have been made.
Okay, well, that's heartening. That's good news coming in from you, because last week I remember you said that still it's time to stay away and see how it goes. Anything else that's happening in the metal space? Not just base metals, but also precious metals. We haven't spoken about that in a while.
Well, yes, support there as well, and we did see $1,800 per ounce of a high in the markets yesterday, and this is in 15 days when we saw 1680 on the lower side as well. So not that we came above 1700 and 1750 and 1780 have been important levels on the chart. So 1800 is done. We're trading around 1790 at this point in time. Even better gains have come in for silver, because that is part metal. And another thing to watch out for is going to be the whole climate change and the transition towards renewables. That will, if that clarity comes in from US in this week itself, we perhaps are looking at more demand coming in for metals then. Yes, because and overall metals and silver as well. If that bill goes cross, if the government does allocate some monies toward this, then I think metals have a good run up coming in ahead of that.
All right, looks like it's good news trickling in for the entire metals basket, precious as well as base. That's all we have on today's update. Thank you so much for tuning in.